Now we have created this sequence. We will write it inside our property block. So at passage of p clock, our test bench p clock, disable if p reset is there. So this p reset is our test bench signal. If there is this p reset signal, then we don't need any assertions because all the signals will go to 0. If this condition occurs, then we will stop this assertion. Otherwise, we will go to our idle phase sequence, that is our not of p select. If it is there, then idle phase or setup phase should be there, either idle or either setup, either idle or our setup. Two conditions are possible. This is our idle phase. So this is our first assertion for idle state. So we have checked our first assertion property. Second, setup state. So first we will see our setup state. Setup phase, we have our p select and p enable condition. P select should be 1 and p enable should be 0. And this we will write in our setup phase condition, that if this is true, then at next cycle, this is our non-overlapping implication operator. So at next cycle, access phase wait or access phase last should be two possible state, and that should be there. If these things are correct, then there will be no error. This process will be same for all our assertions, that at every passage of clock we will first check that if it is there or not. So our first is idle state is completed, second our setup state is completed. Now our access wait. So access wait condition is that if access phase wait is there, then at next cycle our access phase wait or access phase last, these two possible states are there. If these two states are there, then it is fine. Otherwise the assertion will be error. And at last we will have our access last state, and similar for all the assertions, we will check our first reset, and then we will check our access phase last. If this condition is occurring, we will check that our idle phase is there or setup phase is there. The similar thing we write in our FSM. First idle condition we will check, either we will go to idle or either it will go to our setup phase. Setup phase we will say either it will go to access wait or either it will go to our setup phase. Similar to access, either it will go to idle or it will remain in access phase. So this condition we will check with the help of this behavior. We will check with the help of assertions. This is property idle state. State property, and you can write this assert idle state, assert property setup phase, or assert property access phase. If this is not true, then we will get our error display, or if it is true, then there will be no display. Here you go.